Fury went on television there in England, and I'm going to quote him, talking about you. Quote, "I think he's lost his marbles. First, it was the suit. Then it was the bicep injury. Then his trainer. Then it was the trainer on his team. Then it was the referee against him. Then I had weights in my gloves. Now someone spiked his water. Wilder has tried to bring my character down with this bullshit," he said. "If I was like the rest of the world, I'd probably sue him for defamation. But I'm not really interested. He'll never get a shot at me. Never, for what he said." That's end quote. What's your response to Tyson Fury?
This man, the host of he is the host of Showtime Championship Boxing, Brian Custer. He has arguably right now the best podcast in the business, and it's because he doesn't chill.
Somebody butthurt. Somebody he done got away with cheating for so long.
My bad. He doesn't chill to the guests because he is a Showtime boxing commentator. He asked he asked the boxers and the fighters the questions that we want to ask, and more importantly, he does the quotes from other fighters to be like, well, pretty much it's not coming from him, it's coming from the other fighter. So basically, this interview right here, and this is my first video on Wilder Fury. In fact, let me put the time up here because we're going to be doing some jump cuts because I'm actually cooking at the same time. I don't get any joy out of covering this. I don't get any joy out of covering this career suicide or PR disaster of Deontay Wilder for multiple reasons. One of the main reasons is I know better. The number one reason is that it's a scam. Did you notice the influx of Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford videos? Did you know that it is lucrative, profitable to cover all the bad shit in boxing, and especially when it comes to Deontay Wilder? I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. His so-called bigger supporters on YouTube, they don't care about him. They're using him for money and super chat and donations. It's a narrative, and they're like, oh shit, they got the yo. Please subscribe to TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. I got fucking tons of fucking timestamps here for you. I'm going to put the link down below in the description box. Please drop a like. Also, please go over to Brian Custer's channel and subscribe. There's no reason why he should only have 8,000 subscribers with the amount of interviews he's getting and the quality of interviews that he's getting. So let's jump around a little bit. Now listen to this bullshit right here. Now, to be honest with you, the glove gate shit, how Fury, the gloves, that shit all look fishy to me. But it's hard, extremely hard, to believe that all of this, and boxing insiders, you know what I'm talking about. Fans and motherfuckers like, I'm not going to say their channel names, but they really, really know the deal, but they won't never say it. It's hard to believe that all of this has gone down under Al Heyman's nose. Al Heyman, Mr. Cash Money, Bobby Brown, Eddie Murphy, Michael Jackson, Budweiser's Superfest. It's difficult. The MGM Grand, his building, what? The NSAC, remember the Floyd Mayweather IV Gates shit? It's hard. Now, you can say what you want about, in fact, we're going to pull it up. So once again, take your time out. Please subscribe. We're going to take a little deep dive in this because it's a lot. It's a lot. I've been watching all these Wilder videos and interviews. I've seen them all. I've been watching people's videos, and I swear to God, I swear on my child, I swear on my parents, I swear on my dead grandparents, I am disgusted. It's difficult to talk about this shit because to see that some dude named Young Pharaoh, who started all this shit, came in, started this whole narrative, these other fucking YouTube underlings, whatever the fuck they are, jumped on it. These LDBC motherfuckers jumped on it, started this whole, see, I don't like using conspiracy theory, but in this case, this is not a conspiracy theory. Now, the glove part, I can't give you fucking answers on how the fucking glove was flopping around, but the egg weight shit, the nails being able to come through the gloves to scratch the inside of the ears and shit, The spiked water shit? Spiked water? 40-pound costume? Fucking you wearing that wasn't nothing. Didn't try to say it's Black History Month. That was some dark magic occult shit. TstreeT plays Skyrim. TstreeT know you see the fucking little all he was missing is the fucking little enchantments and potion pouches and shit. Talking about some Black History Month. He got fucking skulls, then the cheetah people. You know what I'm talking about? Who makes shout out to dude, I forgot his name. Corin Bhatia or something. He was just on PBC Countdown, Spence versus Garcia. Anyway, he had interviewed the people who had made the Wilder suit. You got to go watch that shit. Wilder then threw them under the fucking bus. Don't you know that shit was going to have a battery pack too? Listen, none of this shit makes sense. And that goes to show you that I understand it's a pandemic. It's tough times. You know, it's COVID. You know, people got to make money. But it's like, yo, all money ain't good money. I know the scam. I can do Wilder videos every day. I know the scam. That's the scam right now. People are like, oh, well, Wilder said this. Let's act like we for him, but go spread this bullshit, even though we know it's bullshit, and get people to pay us to do it. So, and you know what? I have to blame PBC. Because they gave these motherfuckers access to people like this. And now, look, they're in a PR fucking nightmare. They're in a PR nightmare. Now, in regards to this rematch, let me just play a little bit more of this. So, obviously, we can't play all this motherfucking man interview. I have respect for this dude. You see what I'm saying? And he went to an HBCU. I went to Cheney University. But the thing is, I'm going to put the link down below in the description box. And frankly, the man, listen, I don't know who's running his YouTube page, but they got to step their game up. This man's supposed to have way more subscribers and way more, you know, notoriety. I don't know what podcast numbers are doing. I'm launching a podcast myself. I've been working on it for 2 years. It's my baby. It's a big, huge project. It's what's going to launch me. I've always said that I have the access to the fighters. I have the access to everybody. It's just that I don't want to do it just to be doing it, you know? I'm not going to be just here just asking questions, just to ask questions, you know. I want to make sure each podcast I do with each guest is going to be something that I'm going to be happy with. My children, my family are going to be happy with 30 years down the line. And in this case of this podcast right here, this is legendary shit. A lot of times I don't think us media, you know, really appreciate the fact that, like, wow, I was there. You know how you may watch that old Muhammad Ali, or Sugar Ray Leonard media workouts and stuff. Them people back then probably didn't think like, oh, well, you know, they probably would think it back then, I'm just at this media workout getting this footage. But now, look, it's history. You see what I'm saying? So, anyway, moving on. Yeah, let's take a little bit of a jump cut. Please subscribe. Once again, drop me a like. This is TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com.
Tyson, very interesting. Early this morning, Deontay Wilder tweeted this. Hey, Tyson, don't worry about me. I'm fine, blessed. The only thing I want from you is for you to honour your agreement and fight me. I gave you 2 shots when I didn't have to, and it changed your life. Now it's time for you to be a man and give me a shot as you agreed. Tyson, does that surprise you? He's tweeted that. Has he got a problem?
You know, after seeing all his excuses lately, and he's still holding on to the feelings of these malice feelings, and he's still of the opinion of, like, people have cheated him, his trainers cheated him. I've had weights in me gloves, so his costume was too heavy. He had a bicep injury. I've run out of ideas of what other excuses a man could make in a defeat in boxing, and to keep coming out with these ludicrous accusations. You know, I was quite concerned, I still am, for his mental well-being, you know. First of all, he doesn't speak or say anything for 8 months on Instagram or anywhere. And all of a sudden, he's coming out of all this stuff like, oh, he's cheated, he's done this, he's done that. I don't know who's advising him or who's around him, but he really needs to, in my opinion, he needs to seek a bit of help himself, because to keep going on like he's going on is unsportsmanlike, and it's a sure sign of mental health problems.
And, you know, I do admit, me having mental health issues in the past, you know, that shit, you know, that's a motherfucking red flag. That shit's a motherfucking red flag, Deontay. That shit's a motherfucking red flag. It's like, yo, where are you getting this shit from? And the fact that it's like nobody's riding with him, it makes you question. You know what this makes me think? This really legitimately makes me think that what comes to mind is I wonder if he's talking to people. I wonder if he's just surrounded himself. After all, he's a super multimillionaire now. I wonder if he's just surrounded himself with just his yes men. I wonder if there's one of those situations where Shelly Finkel, like, I haven't talked to Deontay in 3 months. It may seem like they've been talking because of what's been going on in the media, but this seemed like one of those situations where probably it's hard because where's Finkel been? How come he hasn't been doing any interviews or anything? Something is weird on Deontay Wilder's side. What if they've been trying to make the fight just some speculation? Why am I not allowed to make speculation if motherfuckers just able to make up shit on fucking YouTube? But what if? What if this is a situation that athletes have known to do before, boxers, where maybe what if Deontay Wilder out here flying rogue? What if he out here flying rogue? I think that's a good question to ask if somebody talks to Finkel. You know, when was the last time you talked to Deontay? You know, do you talk every day? You know, do you talk at least once a month? You know, like, what's going on? Like, you know, now the rumor is there's supposed to be mediation going on. They're trying to make this third fight. Because I can understand, you know, how Deontay Wilder's side can have, you know, some legal grievances. Like, well, listen, like, for a fight like this, we needed a crowd. And we also don't know. In fact, let me see. First fight. Let's go to right here before we jump back. But first. One more jump cut because we have to make sure we understand how we got here. If you don't know, I was bitching and complaining on Twitter and on social media as a whole. And here it was like, yo, we got all this. And I think I have a valid point right here. We got all this motherfucking civil unrest and everything. And all this shit, riots and looting and you know, in black communities, crime rate sky high. I don't know what the crime rate down or the homicide rate down in Alabama is, but I need to check it out. And I'm thinking this is a man who was talking about he was our king of black people in regards to boxing and shit. You know, and really embracing, like, I am here for my people and all that. And I was like, where's this motherfucker at? And he just, you know, lost and then just fucked off for, like, you know, 8 months or so, right? So, you know, I'm thinking, like, well, wait a minute. Like, how, you know, you're not giving out no book bags, no nothing. Even right now, maybe he'll do something. It's a little too early to say, but hopefully next Thanksgiving is next week, you dig? Floyd Mayweather does shit like that. Manny Pacquiao does shit in his country. You know, and I think that's really for somebody. I'm sorry. You can say I'm motherfucking. Y'all look at this motherfucker like he a motherfucking king. I didn't motherfucking call him this. To this day, motherfuckers trying to anoint him as the motherfucking. His grandmother did say he was anointed. Trying to anoint him as the black motherfucking savior and shit. Then when shit really motherfucking hit the fan, he fucking fuck off. Put out a motherfucking tweet. What was that one he put out, that cringe one when he walking in the woods on his island with his hoodie on and shit? It's like, come on, man, let me tell you something. I used to really, really like Deontay. I was there at the very, very beginning when the media wasn't around like that. I was able to sit at the table next to Deontay Wilder in a round table media scrum. I don't even remember when it was in Barclays Center. And it's like, you know, I saw what was going on, and I peeped it, but I was like, yo, now the shit's just out of control. And now his motherfucking fan base that he created, they making all these motherfucking YouTube videos. They are exploiting him. It's opportunist 101. As I said, what really, is there much to talk about Deontay Wilder every motherfucking day? He is feeding a lot of people off of his bullshit. He's feeding a lot of people off of his bullshit. It's sad to me. The glove shit inside the ring, okay, yeah, shit can be manipulated. I saw the Christian Hammer fight. Hell, I covered that fight on YouTube. I got a video on YouTube. I don't know if it was on this channel or the last channel I was on before I started this one, but I covered that fight on YouTube. When I saw that shit, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even notice that. But the Spike Water shit, you know what that water's got to go through? So you mean to tell me that fucking, what did he do? Take fucking Mark Breland, took fucking a potion off of Deontay Wilder's suit? And fuck with them fucking little potion joints, the little cork top, and put the little drop in the water. Put the little potion and shit. He did that? You know, put a little drop. You know, here. Let's take a jump cut. We're probably going to be here. We're at the 15-minute mark. We got 15 minutes to go. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Please subscribe. Let me tell you, I am getting my passion back for boxing. But boxing, I'm not going to be doing this shit every day. I got bigger fish to fry. I got other content coming I've been working on for 2+ years. I know I keep talking about, people be like, well, you know, where the fuck is it at? Just upload it. Hang in there. All right? Hang in there. Another jump cut. We'll be right back. Back down memory lane.
The Bible tells us that silence is golden, but my ears can still hear and my eyes can still see. The Bible also tells us to be swift to hear and slow to speak. You see, what you don't understand, thief, what you did is what my people deal with all the time. Someone cheating them from providing their greatness into the world. But it's a burden that we cut off only to make us stronger. I saw in the first fight where Ricky Hatton was pulling down your gloves to put your fist in the improper position. Y'all tried the same method the second time, but this time you scratched flesh out of my ears, which caused my ears to bleed. It's impossible for a brand new 10-ounce glove to bend, to keep a smushed in form, or to have loose space. I highly believe you put something hard in your glove. Something the size and the shape of an egg weight. Here's the reason why the side of my face swelled up in an egg weight form. And it left a dent in my face as well. But in the midst of it all, you still couldn't keep this king down. You would have had to kill me. In the end, it took a crab in a bucket referee and a disloyal trainer to throw the towel in just to stop me. Proverbs, the 6th chapter 30-31 says, excuses may be found from a thief.
Bro, this shit is for real. This shit is for real. It's for real. It's for real. It's for real. An egg-shaped weight. And remember, he had an autopsy. So the autopsy confirmed the dent. Bro, this shit is real. So listen, obviously, you know, we can't play the manhole interview, and that's why, you know, I'm not here to play you clips and shit. I'm here to talk about it. I put the link right down below in the description box, you know, and it should be at the top of the pinned comments. But yo, check this shit out. But here's another clip for you. You know, this I found interesting right here.
Come to a rematch, because people would say, well, why do I need to see a rematch? I just saw the heavyweight champ get knocked out. At least throwing in the towel. I mean, hey, my corner stopped it. You know what I mean?
No. How can you save a life that don't want to be saved, Brian? If I draw the sword, I'm gonna die by that sword. This is boxing, man. Y'all gotta wake up. This is boxing. It's nothing. Boxing is a cruel sport. Point blank, period. That's why I have my attitude that I have towards it. It's nothing nice in boxing. You know that. You know how many crooks and how many thieves, how many liars, how many people you've met in boxing like that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got to say their name.
You know, he has said, and I was at that press conference where he said, you know, and he said it multiple times where, you know, he would rather die in the ring. But you got to think about the trainer has to think about your family. He has to think about, you know, and the fighter has to account for the trainer's feeling, because it's like, yeah, what if something happens to you? Then he couldn't, you know, he's going to think that the blood was on his hands. He's going to have issues when you're gone. If he see you all fucked up out there in a wheelchair, he got to come meet you one day. And the Mark Breland thing, that's just disgraceful. I don't know if there's anything Mark Breland can do. I'm not saying, you know, he should sue or anything, but it's like, yo, I can't have a motherfucker like out there saying this shit about me, man. And Mark Breland has a lot of support, not only from fans, but from media and boxers alike. Let me tell you, people ain't riding with Wilder. You don't see this shit on mainstream media, even though mainstream media fake as fuck. Yo, it's bad. What boxer, and it may be a couple, I'm not saying it's not some, but for real, like, it's a fraternity type thing, you know, I've learned. And for him to cross Mark Breland like that, it's just like, you know, motherfuckers is not rooting for him. That's why they more so think something is wrong. And it's a damn shame that that fucking bullshit from that fucking Young Pharaoh video from the fucking Blue Bloods and the Fannons and the fucking 78s and the fucking Fred Hawthorns and the Dante's Boxing Nation, it's a shame that them motherfuckers now, see, us YouTubers, especially when it comes to boxing, we don't have a good reputation. The motherfucking writers. Let me tell you something. It's this writer in Philly. You know what? I'm not gonna say nothing. We don't have a good reputation because of the shit that they doing. You know, I used to get lumped into that bullshit. Like, oh, well, he's got his hat on. He's cussing. He's black. So he's just like them. Probably fucking spreading shit around. People come on here, joke around. Oh, just another Dante's Boxing Nation channel. He's going to hate on Loma, or he's going to hate on a European fighter and say blah, 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 blah. I call it the trickle-down effect. You know? It's just bullshit raining down on me from motherfuckers up there. Yeah, they got more subscribers than me. Fight night, my shit. Weekdays, me doing these little videos. I don't do these anymore, if you noticed. You know, my shit is like media shit. You know, if it's a media event, media call, that shit, Zoom, I'm on that. I'll do weigh-in results. I'll do a preview video here and there. But for the most part, weekends, I'm not chasing these bullshit, you know, short-term monetizations. You know, I'm on to more thought-provoking, longer-lasting content with replay value. That's why you don't see me doing 6-hour watch party streams and shit. Yeah, you're making money, but what does that mean later on? Yes, you can say, wow, that's me 6 years ago interacting and all that for a 6-hour stream. But me, I like the fact that I can say, wow, I covered that fight. I did like full depth coverage for that fight. You know, even though my shit is unconventional, I got my quirks or whatever the case may be. Nonetheless, I cover the fights. Let's go right here. Now, this shit right here, it's like, you know, I'm disgusted in Deontay. I'm disgusted. I don't want to talk about this shit, but here I am, right? You know, I couldn't let fucking another 3 weeks go by and me not do a video. But now that, you know, he may have a fight coming up, of course, how it rolls is, I can't wait to see the media questions he gets thrown his way on that first media call, that media Zoom or whatever. Media are going to eat him alive. Let me tell you, they're waiting. They're licking their chops right now. Like, well, you know, how can you and shout out to Brian Custer once again, because he asked a lot of the questions about, like, well, what about Bob Bennett? Don't get me started on that motherfucker. But anyway, we're short on time.
They felt, you know, when I got cheated, everybody wanted to, you know, come out with the fake love. I've been, you know, it ain't faking when I'm already aware of it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that is what it is. But you know, the main issue with the mark throwing in the towel, I've been preaching 5 years. No, never throw a towel in with Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is never out until it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Because of what I'm capable of doing, because of my heart and will, because of the power that I possess. He was never out, and he knows that, you know, and I do feel like he was a part of it, you know, as well.
Why?
But Brian, the thing about it all, at the end of the day, if you go to work and your boss tell you not to do something and you do it, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
I mean, be reprimanded, obviously.
Exactly. So that's just point blank period. We don't even have to get in all the other stuff. That just the boss said something. They work for me. I don't work for them.
Right.
And specific.
No, what I was saying is,
and then he went against the. Then he went against the first. You know, Jay told him not to do that. He went against all that. He didn't even warn me that he was going to do it. It's a lot of things that add up to it, because if you're a great trainer, you supposed to, hey, champ, you ain't looking good, baby. I'm gonna throw the towel in. You know what I'm saying? None of that would occur. Not no rounds or nothing. So it's a lot add up to that. People just seeing, well, oh, he fired this and that, but they don't know nothing, you know. And
now that is a valid point. And Breland was the secondary trainer. You know, that's a valid point. But looking at it here, this is some great shit from the Jeff Mayweather boxing channel. Now listen to Roy right here. Now, Mayweather Boxing Channel, no disrespect, I'm allowed to use a little bit of your shit. I never use any of your shit. You got some good shit. I never use any people YouTube shit for the most part. But, you know what I'm saying? Just contact me. Don't try no... Listen. We cool. Don't... Listen. I'm going to put the link to this down below in the description box, too. By the way, we're doing full coverage for... Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones next week, you know, post-fight, all that. I'm actually waiting for email for all the fight week stuff. Hopefully, you know, they send it to me. I don't know what they're doing, so hopefully I'll have that sometime this week. It's going to be on fight.tv for $49.99. Brought to you by an app called Triller. That's T-R, not Thriller, Triller, Triller. There you go. Undercard is going to have Badu Jack versus, damn, I forgot who he's fighting. You're going to have Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson and some other, fights too. So listen to this.
Feel about Breland stopping the fight? Do you think that was good or bad? Or
Breland did the same thing I would have did. If I see my fighter is in trouble, he's been defeated physically, mentally, and emotionally, there's no sense in me leaving him out there. Now, he is the brown bomber, or whatever they call him, bomb squad. He does have a punch that can take anybody out at any time. However, that particular night, he wasn't even landing the punch. No. He didn't come close to landing the punch. So why let him take further damage when I can take it back home, say, look, son, here where we messed up at. We made a mistake. We didn't do this, we didn't do this, and we didn't do this. Let's fix it. We got a rematch clause that we can exercise in 30 days. We can go back and get this right. Instead, I'm going to leave you out there and let you get punished, let you get messed up to a degree where you may not even be able to come back. That's crazy. So in my opinion, Breland did the right thing.
All right, so in the fight.
But like I said, people don't really care about Wilder, like from when I'm looking at it, and I'm doing deep research. And also, you have to factor in these same motherfuckers are like not in the uproar that he fired a black man, not the white man. Like, you motherfuckers are ass backwards. You motherfuckers are ass backwards. Like, now, this is no disrespect, but listen, they played a race card, so let's flip it a little bit, because I'm kind of triggered by it. It's like, now wait a minute. The white man was willing to let you die in that motherfucking ring. The black man saved you for your kids and to make more money. And let's say if he did have an egg-shaped weight in his glove and his nails were exposed to be able to claw your ears out, your eardrum out. Like, bro, you still backwards. You still backwards. And he's making his media rounds to all the ones that are going to listen to his shit and not really question him because they're making money off of him. It's a scam and it's sickening. These niggas don't got no integrity. They don't got no nothing. I'm telling you. The thing is, I know them. I've worked with them. I know who they are. You don't have to believe me, though. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to believe me. So, one last jump cut before we wrap this thing up. Motherfucking scammers. You know, my baby mama's a scammer. I do not like no motherfucking scammers. Let me tell you. TstreeT don't like no scammers or no fucking woman beaters. Please subscribe. Like the video.
He cheated and he still couldn't knock me out. With all that, with the influence, with him teaming with his glove, because he did it the first time. I seen Ricky had it in his corner, pulling down. I seen it. I didn't know what he was doing, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking he's massaging the arms, and, I didn't see him fight the trainer massage arm, but he's pulling his gloves down, and it all comes together to see it the second time. You can't tell. I seen it. You feel me? I understand, but, it's just like even with his dad. His dad, like, he didn't even want him to fight me. His son gonna get killed. He didn't want it. But all of a sudden, when it got close to the fight, he changed. He got to the point where he was betting everybody, even David Head, the round table. I bet you anything, my son, get him out of there. My son is going to win. Why do you know that? Because you already know y'all had a game plan in line to cheat. That's why Osbury came out that was in the camp, him and his trainer.
And you know what's even crazy? Earlier in the video, he pretty much alluded to, like, gypsies having, like, a history of cheating or some shit. Y'all heard that shit? Like, dude is out of control. And what also is bothersome is that this shit has made it to where, it's made it to like a mainstream media, as I said earlier, and, into other sports where he getting clowned,
This adjustments put Deontay on the back foot and just pieced him up, did a lot of damage. And then in the end, it was Deontay Wilder's trainer threw the towel in. We talked about this at the time. But the reason I'm bringing this up now is because there was talk of a third match, right? Deontay Wilder had a rematch clause in his contract, but of course, there is an expiration date on those type of things. And Deontay never exercised his right throughout that window, right? So that's passed. so that which says that he doesn't want the rematch. So Fury's moved on now and he's booked. I forget who it is, but he's got a fight scheduled sometime soon. So Deontay Wilder's coming out now. First of all, he fired his trainer that threw the towel in. I mean, that guy was just looking out for him. I'm not trying to shit on Deontay Wilder, by the way, but he came out and he did.
Is that why he fired him? He said.
It's a shame that you got to put that disclaimer out there because let me tell you, I've seen it. I can't keep putting the words on how like people think that because these YouTubers have all these views that they must be telling the truth. It's disinformation. You know, and I say to some of them like, yo, Al Heyman, the MGM Grand, Vegas, his town, the man who was able to, what did he do to Bob Arum that Bob Arum was pissed? Listen, he's big shit. And to think that all of this went down under his nose, I cannot believe. And you don't have nobody of note backing him. You don't have a Mayweather saying, well, yeah, all that no. And then you have people saying, well, remember the Mayweather shit with the Madonna gloves? No, that was horsehair. That's a whole different, don't get me started on that shit. It's disinformation. It's disinformation.
Specifically?
He fired him for throwing in the towel. He also actually accused that trainer of potentially poisoning his water. Yeah, he's coming out with every excuse under the sun. He's saying all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Brian, I sent you the video from Deontay's Instagram. Take a look at this, Lewis. It's a little bit sad.
It's golden, but my ears can still hear and my eyes can still see. The Bible also tells us to be swift to hear and slow to speak. You see, what you don't understand, thief, what you did is what my people deal with all the time. Someone cheating them from providing their greatness into the world. But it's a burden that we cut off only to make us stronger. I saw in the first fight where Ricky Hatton was pulling down your gloves to put your fist in the improper position. Y'all tried the same method the second time, but this time you scratched flesh out of my ears, which caused my ears to bleed. It's impossible for a brand new 10-ounce glove to bend, to keep a smushed in form, or to have loose space. I highly believe you put something hard in your
I was saying, let me go ahead and just stop right there. I'm thinking I may have to do another part to this video, unfortunately, because there's still stuff about the potential third fight we haven't even been able to get into. You know, so as I said, you know, like I can see, you know, how people like, oh, we can do videos on this all day, more material, but I just don't like the fact that they're acting like they're for him when they're really not, when they're just using all this bullshit to make money off of him when they really don't believe it. And that's what I likely don't believe it. And they have enough knowledge to know. But at the same time, we're in a pandemic, so you can't put nothing past nobody when it comes to making money, especially when you're seeing people. I saw a video the other day of an ATM being removed from here. I'm gonna pull it up real quick to show you, like, listen, people will do anything for money, man. Like, so it's like, well, when it comes to YouTube, I have to say, all right, well, it's free game out here. You know, but I never thought in my wildest dreams I would see a boxer like being involved in the shit where he's being exploited by fans that he created. And the promotional, it's all weird. So listen, this is just some crazy shit right here. So anytime motherfuckers would do some shit like this right here, take a whole ATM and take a whole ATM out of a store, you know, just strong arm it. We're in a society where, like, listen, people will do anything for motherfucking money. Like, anything for money. That's the world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightFu360.com. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TstreeT4Life. That link is right down below at the bottom of the description box. All you got to do is click the description box, say show more, and then the link is right down there below. Please subscribe.